All right, third graders, today we can complete our leaf artwork. Now I have already started to do the next step, which is to outline our leaves and draw the veins on the inside. Now, the veins are what helps disperse the water on the leaf, and so it will usually start kind of by the stem and then spread outward. They could look a little bit like this as well, like kind of like tree roots. Now we're going to use a Sharpie to outline. You can use just a regular Sharpie. I also have these marks a lot, and what I was using these for is to outline just the outside, the edge of it. And so if you'd like to do that, you sure could. It just makes a little bit wider of a line. Now, if you made your leaf and you didn't have a stem, you could just draw a stem on this paper. That's totally fine. It's not going to matter at all. And I know that my edge kind of is a little wonky. I can't quite see it, but I know that I want it to look a little bit like this. So I'm just going to draw it in like that. It wasn't super crisp after I painted it. Now, once our leaves are all traced, you have to do all of them first. Then we're going to use chalk. We have to use the Sharpie first because if we draw on top of chalk with Sharpie, it'll wreck the Sharpies. And we're going to use chalk. We practiced this earlier, but we're going to use the warm colors. If you remember, the warm colors are orange, yellow, and red. You can also use pink. That's fine. It's not a color that you see too much on leaves, but it is a warm color. If you want to use this light yellow orange where it's kind of almost yellow, you can. You also can use kind of like the pinky purple. Those ones are kind of like bonus ones, but we're not using the blues, the dark greens, the purples, the colors that are in the background that we use. We're not using those on our leaves. And then we're going to use our chalk. Remember, we use it on its side. And I don't have to worry about getting everything super filled in because I am going to use my paper towel to blend it. So wrapping it around my finger, blending, filling in all those white spaces. Sometimes our chalk gets a little bit outside of the area that we don't want. And so that's when we can use chalk erasers. So these are just regular erasers, but you can see that they get kind of icky when we use them as chalk erasers, so that's why they're separate. And then you can just chalk erase it, so we can erase it on the background, okay? So I'm going to color in all my leaves with warm colors. Once your leaves are all colored in and you've erased any extra little bits, the last step that I want you to do with chalk is to add some shadow. Now, a lot of times people think automatically black for a shadow, but what works really well for this is using one of those cool colors, but a darker version. Like I wouldn't want to do a light blue, but I could do a dark blue or a purple or a green. I could use black, but black is really strong for a shadow for these leaves. So let's see, I'm gonna do purple because I don't have as much purple in the background. And just on one side of a leaf, I can add a little bit of a shadow. Now, once you decide which side has the shadow, then you can go and add that to the same side of the other leaves. So for instance, I did it on this side. I wouldn't want to add it on this side. I would want to add it on this side because I'm doing, like, if I flip it like this, it's going to be like on the bottom of all the leaves. So I could go and add my little shadow on all of my leaves. All right, once you are all done adding your shadow, the very last thing that I want you to do is I want you to write your name with a Sharpie on the bottom, not in an area that's full of chalk, but just an area that where it was spray painted. And then I didn't have a Sharpie handy, so I'm just using a pen, but I want you to use a Sharpie so that then this is ready for the hallway. Okay, if you want your paper to be hung the tall way, then sign your name on that. Whatever side is the bottom is going to be how I hang your paper.